YTPC, Padre Piper, coming to you via the virtual airwaves of YouTube to say hello, YouTube pipe community. How the heck are you? Me? Doing well, thank you for asking. You know what I'm smoking today? We'll start with some housekeeping. It has a little bit to do with what I want to talk to you about today. It's a kind of cool and damp day. There's just enough breeze blowing to kind of mess with the pipe and perhaps even mess with the microphone. I hope the microphone doesn't get too much wind noise. I'm on the side lawn, the west lawn of our church property, and there's a thoroughfare out front, and so you may be hearing some traffic noise too. But anyway, that's not what I wanted to talk to you about. Housekeeping, smoking my Rattray's Old Gallery, very nice pipe. And in it, I am blessed to have something you can't get anymore. This is one you couldn't get for a while. It's a McClelland's blend. And the reason you can't get it, and it went away prior to even McClelland going away, is because across the pond was made with Syrian Latakia, and the Syrian Latakia is just no longer available to blenders, and it's good. It's a good blend. But that's kind of what I wanted to talk to you about today, because a lot of people are upset with the loss of McClelland on the market. I'm one of those. I'm a big McClelland fan, and one of the ones you hear most about is people are really just they're grieving the loss of Frog Morton and all the blends. They you know, whether it's across the pond or the original Frog Morton, which is one of my favorites. Frog Morton Cellar, another one of my favorites. On the Bayou, what am I thinking of? Across the town, all of them. They were good blends. They were very good blends. I would have to say, on the Bayou, another one with a little creek in it, I would have to say, originally, my favorite Frog Morton was the Cellar, and I still like it, and I've still got some Cellar. And then I would say, I don't know, the past 8-9 months or so, I kind of switched, and I really began to appreciate the original Frog Morton, which first times I smoked it, it didn't quite do much for me. I didn't enjoy it as much. Went back to it and have really, I think I've notched that one up above Cellar. And that got me to thinking, what do you do now that you can't get it anymore? And that's really the topic of my little talk for you today. Because if you're an enjoyer of the Frog Morton series, particularly the original, I'm going to give you what I think are 5 good alternatives. Now, are they matches to Frog Morton? No, they're not. But if you enjoy an English blend in the sort of ilk of Frog Morton, I think you'll find each of these blends to be suitable, enjoyable, or at least if you try them, you're going to find one of them, I bet. At least one of them that you're going to like a lot. And so I'm going to do them in reverse order, number 5 down to number 1, a sort of countdown, if you will. And the first one that comes on the list is one that I didn't get any real experience with until relatively recently. I don't remember if it was the end of the year or the very beginning of the year. I made an order from Boswell's and had decided to try this one out. It's Boswell's Northwoods. And let me read to you the description from tobaccoreviews.com. Full-bodied and full flavor. And I would agree with that. A deeply complex English. I would agree with that. But with a smooth and mild base of Latakia along with toasted Virginias. I think this is a fairly good description. I don't know that it's as full-bodied as, well, I'm going to get to a super full-bodied one in a moment. But it's good. It's definitely medium, if not full, medium to full-bodied. JM has blended Northwoods for himself to smoke, but then customers started asking him what he was smoking, and his answer was, have a bowl. Northwoods has become one of our most popular English blends. Boswell's, Northwoods, and I'm going to give you a little bonus one here. Number 5, this will be sort of 5. If that were 5A, this is 5B. I'm not really including it on the list. It's just a bonus because although it's listed as in English, it does have a bit of a topping to it, and that is Boswell's Countryside. And I'll be honest with you, I think I like Countryside a little bit more. There is something about that topping. It's lightly cased or topped. It's got a hint of alcohol flavoring to it and just adds a nice touch. Is it a suitable replacement for Frog Morton Cellar? Again, not a match. But I would suspect if you enjoy Frog Morton Cellar, Countryside by Boswell may be one you also want to consider. So what's number 4 on the list? Number 4, Hearth & Home's Black House. Now, I went online just before coming out here to record this, get a little information on Black House, and it's back ordered on Smoking Pipes and on pipesandcigars.com. So I don't know. What I wanted to do with this list was give you stuff that I knew was available, or at least thought was available. But as in the case with Boswell's, it's a house blend. You know, I don't know what they use. What if they were using McClelland products? I don't know. Will that have an impact? Yeah, you bet you. For whatever reason, Black House is on the back order list right now. But if you can get a hold of a 10, I think it's worth the try for you. Here's what it says in the description. The winning blend from the Chicagoland Pipe Show 2011, we're proud to introduce Black House's blend as a tribute to a great tobacco of the past. Made for the 2011 context, it was judged to be the closest overall to the dark Balkan type mixture it was designed to emulate. For you Virginia heads, it's loaded with Kentucky, Balkans, Turkish, and even a smattering of black Cavendish. And I got to tell you, Black House in the winter is just one of my favorites. It really is. There's nothing like Black House on a cold winter evening. Again, is it a match for any of the Frog Mortons? No. Is it a suitable substitute? I think you would be pleasantly surprised if you gave it a shot. Number 3 on the list, and this is one that I really like. And you know, this is perhaps one of the first videos I'm doing about non-aromatics, doing about English blends. Most of the time when I do a video, I'm talking about and or enjoying an aromatic. And I know a lot of folks, Sir James comes to mind. I think he commented one time that he doesn't smoke anything that I present because he's not an aromatic guy. Here's what I have sort of learned about myself before I get to number 3. I find that if I'm in a playful mood and socializing and around others, I'm probably going to smoke an aromatic, particularly if I'm around others who aren't pipe smokers, just because it's less offensive to them. Lat bombs don't tend to go over all that well. But here's what I've also learned about myself. If I'm alone, if I'm in my study and I'm working, studying, writing, thinking, contemplating, I'm probably going to smoke an English blend, or some kind of non-aromatic blend. There's something about, for me, the English blends in particular, the Balkans in particular, that resonate with me while I'm focusing, while I'm concentrating. I don't know what that's about, but it's just something I've noticed, and I've also noticed that I don't think I've smoked any Englishes in my videos until today, as I'm enjoying this Frog Morton's across the pond. So number 3, that was a long way to get to number 3, is one that I find myself going to when I am really wanting to study and contemplate and write. And it's a blend by Kramer's, which has now been picked up by SmokingPipes.com. And it's called Kramer's Father Dempsey. And some folks have compared this one to the 965 mixture. I don't know if that's a fair comparison or not. Is it a match for any of the Frog Mortons again? No. Is it good? You betcha. And again, I've just found myself, that's my go-to when I'm studying. It says, though originally blended To match Father Dempsey's own preferred smoke, this full-bodied English mixture is now Kramer's most popular house blend and has been enjoyed by the likes of Cecil DeMille, Henry Wilcoxon, Samuel Goldwyn, Gene Barry, Mike Kaplan, Mel Tolkien, Fred McMurray, and many others. You can put Padre Piper on that list because I enjoy Father Dempsey's blend. You can get it in bulk, you can get it in the tin. If you haven't had it, I would recommend you give it a try. Again, it was blended and named for a priest, Father Dempsey, who happened to have a church right near Kramer's store in Beverly Hills. He was at the Church of the Good Shepherd. I like that name. I happen to pastor a church called Good Shepherd. All right, number two. Now, number two, when you're talking about Latakia, number two is going to be a lat bomb. And sometimes this is just what I'm craving. This is the taste, the smell, the experience I'm after. And it's C&D's Star of the East. This thing is a lat bomb. It's made with 50% Latakia, which is crazy. Oftentimes Latakia is used as a condimental component to a mixture, but Star of the East is an in-your-face lat blend. What it says, starting with a base of 50% Latakia with a generous portion of Turkish leaf, then sweetened with stove red Virginia. Star of the East is a full-bodied blend. It is a full-bodied blend. Trust me on this. As well as a longtime favorite of C&D customers. No doubt about that. Star of the East, you can get it in flake form. You can get it broken or ready, whatever they call it, already prepared. I go that route. It's just easier. I am not into breaking stuff up and cutting it and too much work. Star of the East, you can get it in bulk. I would say get it in bulk, give it a shot. You're going to like it. Now, here's my number one. Number one replacement for my Frog Morton blends. This has been my go-to as of late. I have thoroughly enjoyed it. It is made by Samuel Gawith, and it is this. It is called Skiff Mixture. Skiff Mixture. Manufactured in the heart of English Lakeland for 200 years is what it says on the tin. The description, another Samuel Gawith original. Gawith. If I'm mispronouncing that, forgive me. Skiff is for the pipe smoker who appreciates the fuller flavor of an oriental blend. Blending a variety of different styles of flue-cured tobaccos gives Skiff its characteristic yellow and brown features. Its real identity comes with the addition of Turkish and a beautiful black Cypress Latakia, giving this blend its full, round taste. And I'm going to tell you, is it a match for any of the Frog Mortons? No. But I think it comes pretty close. It really comes pretty close to the original Frog Morton. That's what I think. It's a little brighter. I think it might be, perhaps, I don't know. I hate saying these things because I could be totally wrong. Because I just don't know the variety of tobacco blends that go into blending and such well enough. I'm going to throw it out there, though. This is what I think. I think it's a little brighter in flavor profile than the original Frog Morton because of the Virginia component. There's something about that, but it's close. I think, for my taste, it's extremely close to the original Frog Morton. Now, this seems to be a little hard to get a hold of right now, too. I don't know all the ins and outs of it. I know in my last video somebody posted a comment stating that there's some restructuring going on with Samuel Gawith and Hogart and Gawith, and maybe they're combining companies. I don't know. I can't speak to the veracity of that, and it could be why some of these Samuel Gawith blends are a little bit difficult to come by right now. There might be something to that. So things are changing in the tobacco community. I mean, it's just no doubt about that. Stuff is changing, and if you're going to enjoy the hobby, you need to be adaptive, and you need to roll with the punches. some of this stuff is out of our control, To some extent, we have more control probably than we want to admit over the FDA, and we do that by who we elect, folks. Think about that. But in terms of the free enterprise system, the McNeils wanting to retire, God bless them. That's their right. They have earned it, and I wish them nothing but the best. So, hey, that's my top 5. I threw in a bonus, so it's really 6 of what I think are pretty good non-aromatic, suitable replacements. A lot of Kia-based blends. If you're bemoaning and mourning over the loss of Frog Morton, I think any of those on that list might be helpful to you. Worth giving a shot to. Hey, listen, I've enjoyed my time with you, and if you're not yet a subscriber to my channel, I'd appreciate you subscribing. I love my subscribers, and I love the interactions that we have here online. So give me a subscription, and I'm going to keep doing what I can do to find some time to crank out some content for you and keep in touch with each of you. Till next time, this is Padre Piper, wishing you and yours God's peace, grace, and blessings.